There are 5 boroughs in New York City: Manhattan, Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx, and Staten Island. And among them, Staten Island is the one that people often forget about. It is also the only borough in New York City that does not have a subway to the rest of the city. Although proposals to connect the island with rail were first proposed over a century ago, all we have built is a short section of tunnel that was never finished. So today, let us look at the story behind Staten Island's subway dream. Towards the end of the video, I will share my vision of what a subway to Staten Island should look like today. In 1860, the Staten Island Railway, known as Staten Island Railroad at the time, opened. The rail connected with ferries that brought passengers to Manhattan or New Jersey, similar to the way it operates today. By 1885, the railroad was controlled by the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad Company, who built the railroad's North Shore and South Beach branches. I explored the North Shore branch in this video. You can check it out after this one. In 1888, to better connect the island with the city, a tunnel to Brooklyn was proposed. In that proposal, the line will start from the Arthur Kill Bridge, run southeast and parallel Forest Avenue, before turning directly to St. George. Then, it will run across the harbor to Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, and connect with the BRT 3rd Avenue L and the Bar Bay Ridge branch. Though the plan was sponsored by Erastus Wittman, a Staten Island developer, it was stopped due to financial issues. Despite this, the proposal was an inspiration for many of the plans that followed. On January 1, 1898, Brooklyn, western part of Queens, the Bronx, and Staten Island officially consolidated with the city of New York, forming the 5 boroughs of New York City we know today. 6 years after the consolidation, New York City opened its first subway line, and the city expanded it into the outer boroughs. The arrival of the subway brought rapid growth to the outer boroughs, turning farmland into robust neighborhoods. Following the success in other boroughs, the LIRR proposed a subway extension into Staten Island, either a direct tunnel across New York Harbor to Manhattan or rail through New Jersey. The first plan was difficult due to the insane cost, while the second one faced legal challenges going through New Jersey. In 1912, the city proposed the dual contracts, which included possible subway extensions to Staten Island via the BRT's 4th Avenue subway in Brooklyn. The line would branch off near 59th Street before running west and across the harbor to Staten Island, where it would split again, one heading south on the Staten Island Railway main line and the other heading north towards the North Shore branch. In 1919, a new plan was proposed which would extend the 4th Avenue line from the 86th Street station in Bay Ridge, connecting with the Staten Island Railway main line and Grasmere. Ultimately, provisions on the 4th Avenue line were made for both of these routes. A set of trackways were built diverging south of 59th Street towards the planned tunnel. In 1922, the 4th Avenue line was to extend to 95th Street as the first step of the future Staten Island extension. The station opened in 1925 with false walls south of the station provisioned for the extension. The northern route was chosen and a bill was passed in 1921 mandating the tunnel to start construction within 3 years. In 1922, the mayor at the time, John Hyland, proposed a new, less extensive plan. The tunnel finally broke ground in Brooklyn on April 14, 1923, but was paused just 2 years later due to lack of funding, and because of an investigation from then-Governor Alfred Smith, which eliminated freight service in the tunnel. By the time the project was cancelled, only 150 feet of the tunnel was constructed. In 1929, a tunnel from Brooklyn to Staten Island was included in the INE second system. However, it was a vehicular tunnel built for cars instead of trains. When IND released its 1939 version of the INE second system, a subway to Staten Island was included. The plan will have the Staten Island subway be a branch of the INE South Brooklyn line and run under Fort Hamilton Parkway before branching again at around 67th Street to connect and utilize the unfinished tunnel to Staten Island. None of these plans moved forward due to the Great Depression and World War II. After the war, priority shifted from public transit to automobiles, though there were still planners that wanted the Staten Island subway to be built. In the 1950s, a 5-mile direct tunnel was proposed from Battery Park in Manhattan to Staten Island, but due to lack of funding, it went nowhere. During that same time period, when the Arizona Narrows Bridge was proposed, planners wanted to include a rail link across the harbor. But due to Robert Moses, who favored cars over transit, the bridge was built with no space for train tracks to be laid. The city lost a perfect opportunity that would have made the Staten Island subway a reality. Since then, despite efforts to revise the tunnel plan, none of them moved forward. It has been over a century since a rail link to Staten Island was first proposed, and the subway to Staten Island is, in my opinion, long overdue. Most modern-day proposals revises older plans, such as a direct tunnel to Manhattan, a branch of the 4th Avenue line from 59th Street, a branch of the South Brooklyn line and Fort Hamilton Parkway, or extension from 95th Street. Though a direct tunnel will be the fastest route to Manhattan, it will be extremely expensive to be built. For the Brooklyn route, the extension from 95th Street is my favorite, since it will not involve cutting service to other stations by making a new branch. There are also proposals to extend IBX to Staten Island. Although this will be great for connections to Brooklyn and Queens, it will lack a one-seat ride to Manhattan. So if it is built, it should probably be done along with a line that goes directly to Manhattan. Now, I'm going to share my proposal for a subway extension to Staten Island, which will be slightly controversial. Under my proposal, the Gowanus Expressway will be removed. A new subway line will be built under 3rd Avenue, and the avenue itself will be made to be more friendly to bikers, pedestrians, and buses. If you have watched my videos on urban planning before, you probably already know how urban freeways have displaced homes and disconnected communities. The rebuilt 3rd Avenue should feature bike lanes, bus lanes, pedestrian paths, etc., similar to what was done with the West Side Elevated Highway. I understand that this will be a controversial plan, but this has been done in many cities around the world, including in North America, and has proved to be a successful way to reconnect communities, reduce pollution, and encourage public transit use. Now, back to the new subway line. I haven't laid out a detailed plan for it yet, but the idea here is to have a line with higher top speed and will have larger stop spacing compared to the 4th Avenue line, making it a faster alternative. This type of line has also been trending across the world, including the Grand Paris Express, the Elizabeth line in London, and the Great Train Express in Seoul, etc. The line will either cross the harbor south of 59th Street, probably utilizing the unfinished tunnel, or run further south across the harbor next to the Arizona Narrows Bridge. The first option may allow IBX to share the tunnel and also extend to Staten Island. On the northern end of the Gowanus Expressway, it will either need a new tunnel or share existing tunnel with other subway lines to cross the East River into Manhattan. On the Staten Island side, I also think that there are multiple locations the route could go to. A detailed proposal on this new subway line will come soon, so stay tuned to my channel. So, what do you think about my plan for a subway to Staten Island? Do you like it, or do you have a better idea? Share with me in the comments. If you want to see my other proposals for subway and rail extensions, check out this playlist. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.